Going back to the CBI's action plan, here's what we need to lift productivity. High-value sectors, high-value firms, high-value skills and higher business investments. And while all that's happening, people working in many existing jobs might find their roles changing. Gaelle Blake is Director of Permanent Appointments at Hayes recruitment firm, and I asked her why she thinks the UK job market is topsy-turvy.
There is the highest amount of job flow that there has been in the last 26 years since the ONS started producing results. And I think ultimately when you have that at exactly the same time as a 15-year low of candidate availability, that's what KPMG is saying in their latest report on jobs report that they do with the REC. When you have that mismatch, when you have a lot of demand from clients and yet candidate availability is so low, that's why it feels quite tough at the moment, is trying to reach those two things. I think what's also happening is that consumer confidence is starting to drop. You can see that at any consumer confidence index that you look at. What does that mean for the job market? It means if you're not confident to spend money on major purchases, your home or a new car or go on a lovely holiday, actually you treat approaching your job in a very much the same way. So we can match that consumer confidence with actually people not being as confident to move jobs as they might be, even though ironically, they're actually in the driving seat. Many people, unless they've looked for work in the last 3 months, don't actually realise the extent of their power. And so you've got this real tension at the moment, that incredible amount of demand, but actually very, very small amount of candidate availability.
But the way we work is changing. It sounds like you're saying employers are fishing in a shrinking talent pool.
Yes,
so what can they do to stand out, to attract and to retain staff?
Well, I think the first thing is you've got to get your basics right. Is your pay correct? The ONS is saying the wage inflation at the moment is over 5%, bearing in mind that prior to COVID it was at 2.2%. So is the wage inflation, have you taken into account wage inflation and have you changed your salaries? I think the basics have got to be right. Are you doing what you need to do in terms of hybrid working? Are you offering what you should be? Because now it is very much the after salary. It is the most asked thing. Can I work in any way, shape or form from home? Because people have got used to it during the pandemic. So I think the first thing is, have you got your basics right? The second thing is, what is different about you as an employer and how are you getting that message across? So what we would call your employer value proposition. Are you clear as to what it is? And secondly, how are you getting that across? What is the vehicle that you're using? Is it a recruitment consultancy? Is it marketing? Is it using your own staff to go out and promote you? So I think it's the basics, what makes you different and how do you take that out to market?
You talk about how there's an increased focus on flexible working, but the Prime Minister has said Mother Nature doesn't like working from home. His prophecy is people getting back in the office, getting back on roads, or back on rail. Is he out of step?
All I would say is we speak to candidates every single day, and after salary, or I'd actually almost say along with salary, it's the most asked question. They want to work from home where they can. They're not saying they want to work from home full time, but what they would like is some sort of hybrid solution. And that is absolutely, I would say honestly, before the pandemic, any aspect of flexible working was probably the 5th most asked question people ask when we approach them for jobs. If it's not the first, it's the second now. People have got used to working from home. I think we've proved from a productivity point of view that people can do it successfully, and they're asking for it now. And any employer that doesn't offer it is going to be at the back of the queue, being honest.